When trying to find the perimeter of a circle, do you know what you're doing? You're trying to find the circumference of something. Do you find yourself doing things like this when trying to find the circumference? I gotta find what the outside of it is, and I have a tape measure, so... This is only gonna take a second. Okay, I gotta find the outside of this circle. Okay. Don't worry, I almost got it. Okay. I got the outside of the circle. Does that look pretty accurate? You know what? There's gotta be an easier way to do this.
Here we go.
Hey, what's going on? So today we're going to be doing a little experimenting with circumference. So we talked a little bit about this in class, but this is a quick review for those of you guys that were confused about it. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. So I got the preserve, I got my tortilla, and all that good stuff. But what I need to do first is I need to measure it, because we talked about this in class, and this is the part where you need to know the difference. Stop doing that. This is the part where you need to know the difference between radius and diameter. What we want to do is we want to measure the diameter of the tortilla. I don't have any rulers at my house, so I'm going to use a tape measure, and it comes out to 8 inches. Okay, so I pre-cut these little strips right here of paper, and they're exactly 8 inches, and this is where we got pi from, and we did this in class. And let's do this experiment one more time though. So yes, so we got the formula. Here's Chicharito, my cat. He's very excited that we found the formula. So what did we discover? Well, diameter, which is 8, times 3.14 is going to be the circumference. It's not random. We have 1, that's 1 diameter, 2 diameter, 3 diameter, 0.14. Because we can't go around 4 times, because if I made a 4th strip, I would be overlapping, and I don't want to overlap. So they realized that if they did this every time, this theory would hold up. So no matter how big or small a circle is, if you take its diameter and you multiply it by 3.14, because it'll always be able to go around. If you were to do this experiment with the biggest circle in the world, and you measured the diameter perfectly, and you went around 1, 2, 3.14, bam, you got it. You got your circumference every single time. So let's practice a couple. What we're going to do right now is we're going to practice using circumference. I think we're at the point now where we can start to practice. In the video that we were watching right now, well, you're watching it, I'm not. I'm making it. In the video you're watching, you'll notice that I talk a lot about how to figure things out with diameter. If you have the diameter, well, you're thinking, what if I don't have the diameter? What if they just give me the radius? Because that will happen a lot. Luckily, it's pretty easy to find out. Before we do that though, let's go to this picture. This is the Great Blue Hole, and this is found in Belize. Belize is in Latin America. It's this huge water sinkhole. I thought it'd be cool to apply this theory to something outside of our daily lives. So I went on to Wikipedia and I found that the radius is around 492 feet. And it's a pretty close estimate. So to figure that out, I'm going to give you a second. Pause the video. How could we figure out, if we know the radius, what the diameter would be? Okay, did you think? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up my calculator. Boom. Okay, 492. And we figured out something that we learned in class, right? Radius times 2, which is another way of saying if you double the radius, you're going to get the diameter. So now we have the diameter, which is 984. That's what it said, I believe. Okay, now this part's really 984 feet. This next part's going to be rather easy then. All we have to do now is we have to think, okay, using the same principle that I just watched, how could I figure out the formula? Well, what did I do in the video? I times it by a certain number. I went around 1,
23.14. So the formula that you could come up with, pause the video and see before I write it down for you. See if you can think, what could the formula be using what I just said? Okay, here's the formula. To find the circumference, you go diameter times 3.14, which is pi. So let's put this theory into practice. If I type that in, I get 984, that's my diameter, right? Feet, times 3.14, that's the amount we're going around, right? How many times the diameter will go around the edge of the circle? We get 3,089.76. It's really that easy, folks.